The following are 4 real newspaper stories documented and published from 1936 onward. Once again, these are documented, published, real eyewitness accounts of wildman, Bigfoot, or Sasquatch. Monsters spotted by Texarkana Group. Texarkana Daily News, Monday, May 24th, 1971, by Jim Powell. The Fouke monster has been seen again. A large hairy creature was spotted about midnight Saturday crossing U.S. Highway 21, 2 miles south of Fouke, Arkansas. Mr. and Mrs. D.C. Woods Jr. and Mrs. R.H. Sedgrass, all of Texarkana, who were returning from Shreveport, said the creature crossed the highway in front of their automobile. It was hunched over and running upright. It had long, dark hair and looked real large. It didn't look too tall, but I guess that's because it was bent over. It was swinging in its arms, kind of like a monkey does. I thought my eyes were playing tricks on me, but there it was. My husband turned to me after it crossed the road and asked me if I saw it too. Mrs. Wood said, when the creature started to cross the highway, we were just awed. It was just unbelievable what we saw. I had been reading about the thing, but thought it was just a hoax. Now I know it's true. It wasn't a bear. It didn't look anything like a bear, she said. Wood said when he first noticed the creature, he thought he was going to hit it. It was really moving fast and across the highway, faster than a man. I thought we were going to hit it. The thing didn't act like it was even noticed us. It didn't even look at the car. It looked like a giant monkey in a way. It had dark, long hair, and I would guess it would weigh well over 200 pounds, he said. Mrs. Seedgrass, who was riding in the back seat of the Woods automobile, said, I heard them saying we saw the thing and glanced up. All I saw was a large shadow as it entered the woods to our right. I don't know what it was, but it was something big. Some people don't think there's anything to it, the monster, but I do. The creature crossed the highway about 7 miles from where it was seen by members of the Don Ford family. May 2nd. The Fords live about 4 miles north of Fouke on U.S. Highway 21. The Fords said they saw a large hairy creature about midnight May 2nd in the field next to their home and shot at it about 7 times. The shots didn't seem to have any effect, according to the Fords. Bobby Ford, 25, said the creature attacked him as he was returning to the house after hearing the Ford women screaming in the large frame farmhouse. I was walking up a ladder to get into the porch when I felt a hairy arm across my shoulder. It pulled me to the ground, and then I broke away from it. I ran around to the front door and didn't even take time to open it. I just ran through the door. Ford was treated at St. Michael's Hospitals for scratches and minor shock and released. Fouke Constable Ernst Wellraven, who investigated the incident at the Ford house, said a large hairy creature was spotted in 1963 near the Jonesville community southwest of Fouke. Several persons spotted the creature and shot at it. They said the shots didn't have any effect and the creature ran off, Wellraven said. The next story is from the Lincoln Star on Tuesday, January 22, 1935. Blame wildman for disappearance of 2 in Alaska. Anchorage, Alaska, January 22. The strange disappearance of 2 prospectors in the Nashcack River County was blamed today on a wildman of Arkansas. Here recall the terror reign in the same region several years ago of Kletka, Indian killer credited with slaying 20 men. While Kletok living in the Nashka County, it was a region shunned, but with his death in 1932, sourdoughs and trappers again invaded the little explored section north of Bristol Bay. Now comes the word from Charles H. Dumbleton, a prospector, that another wild man has taken up where Kletok left off, and that two prospectors laden with thousands of dollars in gold had disappeared. This next one is from Alabama. The Modesta Bee, Friday, April 15, 1936. Guerrilla family hunt is in vain. Anniston, Alabama, April 15. Sheriff W.P. Cotton dismissed a posse of wildman hunters today and reported that an all-day search for a strange gorilla-like family in Chocolow Valley swamp was in vain. Cotton led a group of farmers and citizens into the swamp after rural residents reported seeing a man, woman, and child whose bodies were covered with hair and who at times walked on all fours. This last story is from the Arkansas Gazette, January 27, 1973. Non-believer at Falk spots monster in cow pasture. Orville Scoggins, a farmer who has scoffed at tales of Falk monster, said he, his son, and grandson saw the creature in the field Sunday morning. He said the monster was about 4 feet tall, stood upright, and had long, pitch black hair. There were so many reports last year of a strange creature in the area that a legend about the Falk monster was born. A Texarkana filmmaker made a successful movie, The Legend of Boggy Creek, about the sightings. Scoggins, 67, told Falk Constable Ernst Wellraven that the three were helping one of the cows deliver calf about 7:30 a.m. when he heard several cows bellowing. I looked up to see what the noise was, and there it was about 100 yards away, walking to the east, he said. The field where the creature allegedly was sighted is about 4 miles east of Falk and about half mile south of the Rocky Mound Church, Waldraven said. Several tracks were found near the spot where Scoggins said he saw the creature. The tracks reportedly had a span of about 5.5 inches in diameter and were 40 inches apart. The owner and manager of Boggy Creek Cafe at Falk, Billy Williams, who was a friend of Scoggins, said, Orville was always one of our worst believers. He always made fun of the Falk monster. So there we have 4 different accounts of newspapers from the 70s, from the 30s as well. I believe that second one was more of a wild man. Could it have been a person? For sure. Not really knowing. You can't. There's no way of knowing what it actually was. But still interesting. Now the other 3 all pretty much, well, we do have the 2 from Texarkana and Arkansas area, which all have connections to the Falk monster from the 30s. It's a well-reported cases and a bunch of sightings. The gorilla family in Alabama was particularly interesting because, well, they were going after a strange gorilla and at times walked on all fours. So, this is the 30s. There's bears everywhere. I don't think they would confuse it with a bear, and at times walked on all fours. So this Bigfoot family, I guess, had for some reason walked on all fours. That's pretty strange to me. Most of the time you hear of a Bigfoot just walking and running on two legs, not so much on all fours. So this one is extremely interesting. Let me know what you guys think about that. Yeah, that's all.